If you're looking for intellectual, informed basketball takes and you want to bring in media that knows what they're talking about, look no further than If you're looking for intellectual, informed basketball takes and you want to bring in media that knows what they're talking about, look no further than
It's Fastbreaks. Listen. We back with another one.
Fast breaks, yeah, we coming with the takes. Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights. Man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands. We run 3-man weeks, Paul, Trey, and Allen, yeah. Way more than a fan. We got love for the game, we don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm the run the fast breaks, throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast breaks, throw me the outlet. We on the brink, it's fast breaks. We on the brink, it's fast breaks. Let's go.
What up, party people? Welcome to another edition of the Fastbreaks podcast. We're so happy that you chose to join us on an audio adventure this Saturday morning. I go by the name Ro, the hostess with the mostest, and you know this. Peter Flatbush. Joining me today, the man in the middle, Mr. Consistent, the author, America's favorite Haitian uncle, King Dre Sakpase. Starting at shooting guard, we call him the sturdy one and the stubborn one, Mr. PRR 1995, Mr. PRR Sports, Coach Paul. One thing of yourself.
Don't know how you go already. Yeah. By the way, I'm going to be in Jamaica this time next week. I might try. I don't know if I'm going to be here, chat. I don't know, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try and still stream down there.
Lovely. And last but certainly not least, rounding out our starting four, the architect, the professional, we call him Morpheus, Alan, the man with the play. We are a little ensemble that goes by the moniker Fast Breaks. Can I get a rebound kindly? Owley! Yeah!
Hey, score the bucket. Damn, stop screaming at me. Score the layup. What's wrong with you?
Episode 102, we back at it. You know what it is. Back to our regularly scheduled programming in our format. We're going to start off with Game of the Week. As a reminder, Game of the Week is not the game we thought was the best this week, but a game that we
But it was the best this week. But it was the best this week. But it was the best this week. I'm not hearing nothing else. But it was the best thing.
Forget all that chatter. The Knicks got a trophy and an NBA tournament.
Can I intro the topic? Can I intro the topic?
All of that groaning.
That's not. I wasn't even gonna hate. I truly wasn't even gonna hate today. I just won't talk about the game, but I wasn't gonna hate today. I just want to intro the topic.
Sure, go for it.
Yo, relax, bro. Versatility.
Yo.
Versatility, bro.
What's crazy?
I was low key thinking the same thing. I was gonna let you rock. I said, "Oh, this brother's moving different this morning, huh?"
Dude's mad. I got curls. It's crazy. And I'm wearing a Wu-Tang shirt to complete the aesthetic. Like I know what genre I subscribed to this morning. I understand what's going on.
He said you're on Long Island.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey, Brooklyn is sharp. No, I do live close to Bay Ridge. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, game of the week is now the game that we thought was the best game of the week, but a game that we chose to break down and give y'all that hard-hitting basketball on-court analysis that is few and far in between out there in the podosphere. So for this week, we chose none other than the NBA Cup final, the San Antonio Spurs versus the New York Knicks. We are going to break that game down for you. Who would like to begin?
I think Paul should humbly begin. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, now can I just make the caveat that remember we can talk our talk in the later segments. Don't gloat and forget to break down basketball. This segment we're meant to be giving the people hoop talk. So talk your stuff, but like make sure you're actually breaking down the basketball, please. I beg.
Listen, this is just a precursor. This is the intro. This is just a. I'm not gonna quote Paul Pierce, but this is just a taste.
You should no.
I'm not gonna finish that.
No, because he was talking dead crazy.
I'm not gonna finish
he was talking dead crazy.
I'm not gonna finish that. Y'all get the drift. Listen,
and fighting to stay relevant. Anyway,
the Knicks are the best team in the East by far. The Knicks are one of the best teams in the NBA. Definitively. What I saw in that game was, and nobody's talking about this, right? Let me get the clear things out the way, right? Our bench is playing. I'm not gonna say, we have a bench, because I believe we had a bench last year, but we have a coach that trusts them. He empowers them, right? You don't gotta play like a top 5 pick to get minutes off the bench.
We got our own exciting whites, or whites rather,
right? And because of that, they performed well. Of course, Jordan Clarkson, is Jordan Clarkson, but if we had Deuce instead of Jordan Clarkson there, I believe he would have had a similar impact. Deuce is like that, right? Especially when he gets it going. But anyway, our bench is there. Tyler Hero is legit. I've been talking about him for years.
Tyler Kolek.
At this point, Tyler Kolek is legit. I've been talking about him for years.
Yeah.
Wrong white Tyler, my fault. But listen, the bench is legit. All right, one of the best benches in the league right now. All right, but let me say this: y'all see Cat playing defense?
See a little bit.
Yeah.
I see a little bit.
Y'all see Cat playing defense?
I see a little bit.
Karl Anthony Towns playing a little bit of defense
is a big impact.
Makes us a championship contender. I'm telling you right now. All he got to do is rotate properly and don't foul every time somebody that can score the ball has the ball in front of you.
You're 7 feet tall. Just hands up, brother.
And rotate properly. Because the thing is, he can have his hands up, but if he's late, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Rotate on time. You could tell in that cup game that the time that they had before the cup game, they practiced. They ran through defensive schemes, right? They didn't even change anything. They just did what they were supposed to do. They did what Mike Brown wanted them to do. And that was the difference in the game to me. The bench and the defense.
Mm-hmm.
I want the Thunder. I want to play the Thunder today. Because listen, I want to know how good we really are. I want to know how we defend Shea. Like, listen. And let me say this: Mitchell Robinson. I've been telling you about Mitchell Robinson too.
Mm-hmm.
Wemby played somebody that can actually. When Mitchell Robinson made Wemby look like a regular superstar instead of an alien.
Mm-hmm.
How?
He did it by contesting his shots, but he just got the size. Like, he did what everybody else tries to do, but he has the size. Wemby isn't quick, but he just has very long limbs. So one step and he's by you because he stepped literally like around you.
Yeah,
you know, and then he's just gonna reach around you. But Mitchell Robinson, he might not be as tall as him, but he's close to it, and he's mobile enough to keep up with him and contest the shots.
Don't forget the strength. He's strong as hell.
He's strong too. But there are other players that are strong that play against Wemby, but he's just bigger than them. He's taller, he's longer, so he just reaches around them. All right. Mitchell Robinson has the size to contest him. That's the biggest thing. So that's why he made him look normal right now. Oh, and let me say this: the Spurs are good. Let me give the Spurs some credit. They're good. The Knicks actually looked better when Wemby was on the floor.
You mean the Spurs?
Than when Wemby was off.
You mean the Spurs?
I mean the Spurs look better when Wemby was off the floor than when he was on, right? And part of that might be because of the fact that they have more ball movement because they don't have a superstar that can dominate the ball like that. Of Vassell and Castle and them, they have more touches and all. But at the end of the day, the Knicks are a problem. And I've been telling you, and I said we're going to the finals. Do you believe now?
I've been believing. Can I go? Can I capitalize? Okay.
Oh,
Go ahead.
All right. So first and foremost, I want to capitalize everything that my brother Paul Robinson just said because everything he said is 100% facts. Okay. From a P's and Q's standpoint, the depth of our bench, and I'm not saying we got the deepest bench in the league, but we got what
we do though.
We have one of them. We have one of them. What really sets our bench apart is the fact that they have complementary play styles with each other, with everybody fitting in the starting rotation, and they can you can sub out in a degree where you're not losing play style, you're not losing production. And that's something that Tibbs did not capitalize on last year. It's something that the Pacers were able to outdo us on. It's something that the Pistons almost did to us, right? Now we have a bench where we don't need Jalen Brunson to be playing 40 minutes, right? And that's something that you see coming into the end. Jalen Brunson can play a full fourth quarter without being gassed.
That's a fact.
Cat can play a full fourth quarter without being gassed, and that allows him to play a little bit of defense.
Got a Huck Porty too.
You know what I'm saying? Josh Hart doesn't have to go get, not flop. He's not flopping. He doesn't have to go because he's trying to crash a lot. He's trying to do a lot, and he gets hurt by like his hard play style. So he doesn't got to do that for 40 minutes a game. That's just more opportunity for him to get hurt. So we really have – I can't stop talking about the bench enough because they were such a big difference to me. And you see it on the other side because the Spurs didn't have a bench that could respond as well. They really – even though they had Wemby coming off the bench – it was really just like a sub-starter thing, not really like he was their bench player. He wasn't really doing a whole lot of damage with the bench unit. And the other thing that, just from a P's and Q standpoint, and Paul said this, it looked like the Knicks practiced defensive schemes, particularly to the Spurs and or to the Thunder. Because the exact game schemes...
Give me some examples.
Number one, Mitchell Robinson being able to just be out there in front of Cat, contesting shots. He can do the same thing to Chet. He can do the same thing to, Isaiah Hartenstein. Okay. They're able to switch off De'Aaron Fox. He's being run off the line. He wasn't getting a lot of open threes. When he was getting threes, they were contested. He was missing. I think he went for 5 for 16. So he was forced to go into the lane to get mid-range shots. And when he did, he had to go through Cat. He had to go through Mikal Bridges. And eventually he had to run into Mitchell Robinson. And you ain't doing nothing to Mitchell Robinson. Let's just keep it real. So the fact is everyone's rotating in a way that is forcing guys. Like if you're getting shots, right, these are the shots that we can live with. All right. Now, the part where I caution the Knicks is when you run into a team like the Thunder, right? Because the Spurs, good team, they're not as good as the Thunder. When you run into a team like the Thunder, the danger of that is they will hit shots. They're a team that if you give them, even if you're rotating, you're forcing guys off, right? They have their scheme is to get to the middle. Their scheme is to get Shea going to the mid range. Their scheme is to get Jalen Williams going to the mid range. So that might be one other adjustment we have to make. But from what I saw, it was a stamping moment, right? To say, the Knicks are here. We are playing in a way we're playing in a way that that opens up the floor to a lot of guys. And also because we didn't say.
Man's out of here.
Might have temporarily lost Dre.
Let me say something real quick though. Let me say something
Paul,
real quick about Mike Brown. Mike Brown is doing things I don't think Tom Thibodeau would have ever done.
I agree.
Playing Tyler Hero with Jalen Brunson.
Kolek.
My gosh. Playing Tyler Kolek with Jalen Brunson is something he would have never done.
Yeah.
Playing two small guards.
Three, actually, yeah.
Three, I mean, if you call Josh Hart, yeah. Like at the same time.
Clarkson, yeah.
Like that he would have never done that. And that's the move that needs to happen at that time because they were Jalen Brunson didn't have the greatest game, and he talked about it when he got interviewed when he won the cup, right? Having somebody that could handle the offense where he could come off ball and rest while being on the court is something that he hasn't been able to do since playing with Luka. And now he could do it because Tyler Kolek is here, and he's been here. He's been nice. This isn't new. So listen, shout out to the timeouts he called. Great. The rotations, the piece that he played together. The great coaching by Mike Brown. A shout out to Tibbs, but he would have never done what made the decisions that Mike Brown did.
That's a fact. I agree with that. That actually goes a lot into the point I wanted to make. I was gonna say, one, I think the Knicks are probably the best team in the East, but obviously people always talk about like OKC, like front office being the best office, but I think the Knicks are a really good example of what a front office is supposed to do, right? Like in terms of like building out your team. I feel like that roster is built perfectly to complement their two superstars, and that's what you do as a front office, right? You got players that complement Cat and Brunson in those ways. Number one is the bench, with just like Paul said, Tyler Kolek and Jordan Clarkson for me. I think the biggest asset when it comes to those two is just take a lot of pressure off Jalen Brunson. Just like Paul was just talking about, my point was going to be when Jalen Brunson's on the floor, there's sometimes two other ball handlers because they play a 3-guard lineup at one point.
Clarkson out there sometimes with them too. You're right.
Yeah. They play a 3-guard lineup sometimes, and that takes so much pressure off of Jalen Brunson. And on top of that, it versifies your offense a little bit. Like last year, a big complaint, obviously, for the Knicks was the fact that Jalen Brunson would have the ball at the top of the key, and he would, hold it just as like what other options do you have? That Jalen Brunson and your team is just built that way. But now, when you play those two alongside him, it opens your offense. You could dribble drive. The Knicks do a lot of drive and kick out, much like Miami, which we'll talk about later. But they do a lot of drive and kick out, and they have players like Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, being able to take those threes and make them. And that's why, to me, the Knicks, even when they started going down a little bit, I think the highest lead of the game was the Spurs by 11. Even when that lead started to go out, those players immediately would hit a three, or it would be like one of the bench guys hit a three, and then come back down, play a good defensive stop, hit another three, and now all of a sudden that 11-point lead is not that much, and the lead is not surmountable. They did a really good job of not letting the game get away from them. OG Anunoby, I'm super impressed by. I knew obviously we talked about him before. I know he's good offensively, but he's really good at drive. He could get to the paint, not at will, but damn near at will. He gets to the paint. He's super strong. He can make really tough finishes. And I think that's what's invaluable for him. Because a couple of times he got some and ones or just tough buckets that, rally the team together. And I think that's super invaluable. On top of that, the offensive boards is damn near at this point a game plan. I started noticing a couple of teams doing this, mostly Boston, but it looks like the Knicks are doing this too. But like offensive boards are just kind of like the game plan now. Like I damn near think teams don't mind if they miss. It seems like they're just attacking the board on that end of the floor. And it's kind of creating like open shots, open jump shots. Because you could get an offensive board, you kick it out, the defense is not set, and you making open threes. I don't know how successful that's going to be for a lot of teams in the long run, but overall, I think it's working out. especially against a player like Wemby, who's just super tall, and who's able to block everything. I saw someone on Twitter say, actually, I thought it was funny because it's true, he can't block and get a board at the same time. So if you got people crashing the boards, it's kind of like a great neutralizer for like the beast that Wemby is. Other than that, I think the Knicks just had solid half-court execution, more so than the Spurs. They're really running plays out there. I saw a lot of flare screens that got open threes, and I think the Spurs were just not ready for that. On the Spurs side, I will say Wemby to me didn't put like, I know he was hurt and I know he's playing like limited minutes. I don't think he really put like his fingerprint on this game
because
I don't think it could have been Mitchell Robinson, but I also feel like he just wasn't like I said before, like the Knicks did a really good job of like driving. I feel like he didn't contest the paint as well as he usually does, and I don't know what injury he has. I don't know if it's because of his injury or maybe he was being pulled away and maybe they missed rotation. I don't know. But I feel like he didn't do that great of a job. And on top of that, on the offensive end, I know he had that explosive like third quarter, I think it was. But overall, I don't think he put an imprint on this game that he usually kind of does when I was watching play. But again, he was injured. We could chalk it up to that. I don't know.
Do we give any credence to him possibly not being mentally in it based on the news that he learned that morning?
That's hard for me to say. When I see Wemby, he's one of the really more competitive guys in the league. So I feel like for him to not mentally be in it for a championship game, I know it's the NBA Cup, but I feel like he is one of the dudes that will take it really serious. So I don't want to put that on him. Unless you saw something.
Did you hear reportedly he learned that his grandmother passed the morning before the game?
No, this is my first time hearing that. Oh
yeah.
Oh wow, maybe okay. Oh, you know what? That makes a lot of sense to me now. Like, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's my first time hearing that, so I can definitely see that now. That makes a lot of sense. Condolences to him and his family. But another thing, other than that, like the Spurs, for the Spurs side, even though y'all lost, but Stephon Castle, bro,
he's nice.
That kid is nice.
He's nice.
Stephon Arkell.
Yeah. He is nice. You know,
he's like
with all the Giannis talk, the trade rumors and stuff. I've been hearing like packages including him for like Giannis, and when I first heard it, I was thinking like, yeah, do it. That's Giannis, and you have so many other assets. Yeah, I know. But you have so many other assets that I think would be good. But now I don't know. I'm holding on to him because they have Dylan Harper too. But
he's nice too.
Was nice. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, that's why I was saying like it's okay if you give up one for Giannis because you still got the other. Right. But I don't know, man. Now you might as well keep all of them because I think in a few years he's going to be good. That kid, he gets to the paint at will. He always gets 2 feet of the paint. His reads that he makes, making these cross-court passes on dimes, cross-court passes too. Hits you on the dime. He's very good in like a screener role. Like he's just a really solid player. So they got a bright spot.
I want to see more young cores and see how they play. I'm tired of seeing young cores.
They broke it off a superstar.
Trade bait to go get us. Like, let's see what this group could do. Like, at least let
them. Kevin Durant, stay away from them.
Yes, at least let them get to year 6, 7 before you trade one. It honestly gets me very upset. Like you're trading guys, and I'm including Jalen Green in this. You're trading guys freaking 3 years, 4 years into the core's development. You got to give them at least 6 or 7, like to see what they're gonna be. Imagine if they traded
like Rob did.
If they traded Russ in year 3, and we never would have saw what the Thunder got to be, even though they make it all the way. Like that's a great part of NBA history. What the Thunder were, right? Imagine if they traded Draymond or Clay in year 3, what would have never happened? You know what I mean? Like I just want to see this happen more, but. That's my little take for the day. Dre, you want to finish off what you were saying earlier?
I mean, Alan got to the points I was gonna make because I was literally about to go into OG and then talk about offensive boards. But the only last thing I would say is shout out to Dirk because his fingerprints were all over the Knicks offense. His fingerprints were all. OG's been working with Nowitzki. Oh, OG was working with him. OD. teaching him how to shoot. They were talking about it in the halftime show, how he called him, talking about footwork, talking about exactly. No, for real, no. How to shoot properly, and you saw it too. He's shooting confidently. I saw Cat take that one-legged step back that Dirk always, that signature step back. Listen, man, shout out to Dirk, man. I like the offensive scheme. It's clicking. Not that our offense ever had a problem.
It did.
But no, it didn't. It didn't.
It did.
It was good, and that was great.
Now, exactly.
It was stoppable in the playoffs.
I'll even say it. In fact, it was
always
good.
I used to always say to y'all, this is stoppable in the playoffs.
It wasn't stoppable.
But it wasn't
Yes,
stoppable.
It was.
No,
Yes,
the reason why it was stopped. No. The reason
then
why
why'd you lose?
Because our guys were gassed. I don't understand what you're not getting. Like, why are people not getting this? When Jalen Brunson has to play 42 minutes, there's only so much left he can do. And if he has to do that,
and why did he have to play 42 minutes?
Because Tibbs is trash. Because Tibbs was a trash.
Because your offense absolutely needed him on the floor for 42 minutes.
Wait, hold on. Jalen Brunson in 42 minutes was still unstoppable. The problem was the defense, right? And we found a defensive. We as fans saw there was a unit that played good defense, and he refused to play them consistently. Delon Wright, Landry Shamet, Deuce McBride, either Cat or Jalen, right? And then you have one of the wings, either Michaela or OG, right? That was the nucleus of that defense. Delon Wright, Landry Shamet, and Deuce. He did not play them like that.
But when they played, lineup couldn't score.
Yes, they could.
Yes, they could. What are you talking about?
Cat was unstoppable against the Pacers.
And don't forget Deuce, too. Deuce was saying big threes. What are we saying?
They couldn't guard. The Pacers couldn't guard us. This is why we talk about the Pacers the way we do, because we look at it like
we don't
beat them.
We don't rate them
they
like that.
They couldn't do anything with us.
We don't rate them.
That's probably what the Celtics fans say about y'all.
Yeah, but that's
how that works.
That's how they play.
You see how that works? You see how that works?
It's not the same thing.
The proof is in the pudding. We stopped. No, they didn't stop us, though.
The Celtics lose when Jason Tatum stops making shots and stop making reads. The Knicks lose when Tibbs refused to play the bench. That's the difference.
Right.
That's the big difference. The Celtics are saying that about us. They're delusional. Go get yourself mentally checked out. There's a lot of help in 2025. Go make those resources available.
2025 is over, brother, by the way.
All right, so coming into 2026, start the year off right.
It's crazy. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't it crazy? Any final thoughts on the game of the week? How we feel? Any particular schematic thing that you would like to see the Knicks continue moving forward, or that you think is an adjustment the Spurs need to make moving forward? Particularly schematic thing, an X and O's thing.
I got something.
I think.
Alan,
for the Knicks, one thing I forgot to mention. Part of the reason why I think the roster is so perfectly built for Cat and Jalen is when you got Hart, OG, and Mikal Bridges out there, those three could switch on everything, and it helps them out a lot because obviously you get one of those two on the switch and you're cooked. But when you have those three guys out there, they could pretty much switch everything, and it's so versatile defenders. It helps that team out a lot, and I feel like they weren't doing it that much with Tibbs last year. So I like that combo, and I like Josh Hart starting out because I think when they switch on defense, the Knicks are tough out.
Yep.
I'll say this. What I want to see the Knicks do consistently or continue to do is play defense on a string, particularly Cat. Allen, that lineup was the starting lineup last year, and it was the worst starting lineup in the playoffs last year. And the reason it was because of Cat. He was horrible. Look, I could take some defensive deficiencies, right? Okay, you can't guard in the perimeter. Okay, cool. But can you at least rotate? Can you be Rudy Gobert? Just be there. Be there on time. Be there.
That's honestly who he needs. So he just gotta be there.
Just be there.
7 feet tall, man.
Don't be absent-minded on the court. Right, and that's what I saw him do. Just rotate on time. And because of that, the defense was united. So now when he rotates on time, now Mikal can rotate to his guy if his guy is on the in the corner, and then you just have everybody rotating on time. And now they have to take a shot that they don't want to take. Right now on the Spurs side, what I want to see them do is real quick. I want to see them run more off ball, down screens for Wemby, because he scored very well off of that. Like when it was 1-on-1,
some pin actions.
You said what?
Some pin down actions.
Yes. Because that I remember D-Wade was talking about, oh, this is crazy. This is the new NBA. The guard is setting a pin down screen for the center to flare up and take a mid-range shot by the elbow. It is crazy. But when you have somebody like Wemby, it could work. And that's when he scored most efficiently. So if they want to, improve their offense with Wemby on the floor, I think they should do that.
Well, for that to be the case, I think it would have to be a shift in mentality and perspective, much like Rashad McCants said, which is you stop thinking of Wemby as a center.
Yes.
If you treat him like a guard and run offense for him like a guard, what does that look like? And what does that do for your team?
Yes, I agree with that. I mean, defensively, he's going to be the center, but like offensively,
of course.
Treat him like Dirk.
Treat him like Dirk. I had a thought about that. I had a thought about like, these bigs that can shoot. Like it's not a absolutely new thing, but why is it a struggle when we watched a big that could shoot, like show the blueprint of how to do it and still be a big? Like we saw this. Him, LaMarcus Aldridge, like we know how to run offense when your big man can shoot the ball. Maybe they weren't shooting a ton of threes, but they still were primarily jump shooting bigs and had successful offenses around them. So that's why I'm always sort of perplexed as to why like certain teams struggle to figure out how to use their shooting big in productive ways. I always thought about that with Joel Embiid, like the fact that there was always a tension between Joel being a bruiser and being a shooter when he like clearly his bread and butter became his midi game. Like that clearly became his bread and butter. And like we've been watching bigs have midi games for 30 years. Like I don't understand why they couldn't quite figure that out or what the spacing needs to look like or whatever. Like Kevin Garnett, killing in the midi for 15 years. Like Tim Duncan killing in the midi for 15 years. Like I never understood that. David Lee.
Come on.
It's funny because it was the era after them where it was a bunch of super athletes. And what was the biggest thing that we kept saying about those athletes? Oh, if they could just get a dependable midi. Yeah. Right, like the Blake Griffins of the world, the Dwight Howards of the world, the Amari Stoudemires of the world. Like when that generation came in, that is what every NBA analyst pined for. They were like, "Oh, if this guy just gets a little midi, this team would be unstoppable." And now you got bigs that can shoot threes, and everyone's like, "Oh, what are they doing? Like what?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Like,
it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense why people are so confused and why they don't know how to do this. But that's again."
Thank you. I like that school. I like that because I just said Brook Lopez. I like that comment. Brook Lopez.
Yeah, he had a nice little midi.
Can I just say this? If the only thing I want to see, Cat's going to be the focal point of what I want to see more from the Knicks. Obviously, I want him to rotate better. I want him to continue to play. I like to see him go from a little bit of defense to a moderate amount of defense. But the person I really want him to make a phone call to is Brook Lopez.
Can I ask you a question though?
Sure.
So Paul said the problem with defense is his timing on his rotation. Do you also think that's the problem schematically, does the coverage need to change to accommodate what his flaw is?
No. So here's it's a twofold flaw, right? And there's an analysis that we had about Luka where Luka is doing so much offensively that he's gassed by the time it's time.
I don't prescribe to that level, that type of thinking, but go ahead.
That's fine, but that's how Cat thinks. That's how Cat thinks. Listen, I can't always be there for defense. I'm dribbling. I'm doing all. No.
I don't think that's his mentality. No.
Use your energy on the defensive end. All right, your shot.
Can I tell you what I'm thinking with this question? Like,
sure.
What I'm thinking schematically is like maybe stop using Cat as low man. Like maybe because he never rotates on time.
He got to.
But
why don't I saw the Celtics do this during their championship run? They had Porzingis as corner defender. They didn't use Porzingis as low man. They used Horford as low man because they knew Horford would make his rotation on time. And Porzingis was long enough that he could shade and still get back to the contest on weak side. So why don't you put Cat on weak side and have Mitchell or whoever the other forward is be low man?
I'll tell you why. Because real quick, I'll tell you what. Because first of all, that puts more pressure on Mitch to start and play heavy minutes.
Yeah, we don't want to do that right now.
You don't want to put that much pressure on Mitch because he's injury prone. We know that. That's number one. Number two, Porzingis will still block a shot.
Correct.
On the corner.
Yeah, but it's easier for he's weak side, right? Porzingis has had a similar issue when he was with the Celtics, like coming back from injury on and off the court all the time with his timing, right? And so they didn't have him be low man. Plus, people weren't really afraid of Porzingis. Like they would go try to dunk on him. People didn't really try to do that.
Who's not afraid of Porzingis? What are you talking?
We're talking about at the time, brother. We're talking about it like the Celtics time. People would go in and try to do what they need to do to that man. They switched and they moved him to the weak side where he could come over and use his length to get blocks and still recover out to the shooter if they did a skip pass. But they use Horford as the low man. Horford stronger, more low center of gravity. He would stand in there and be more of a physical in position. So that's my only thing is I've seen in recent years NBA coaches play with who's the low man and not just assume my 7-footer or my center has to be my low man.
But my point is that Porzingis is not as much of a cone on the perimeter as Cat. That's why I said he could block a shot. Like all you gotta do is rotate the ball to the.
You could bump him out if they skip it. Like I'm saying on the weak side, if they see Cat over there and they skip it, and then first of all, no one's gonna try to ISO in the corner. So if they skip it to the corner to try to,
they're doing on Cat. Cat is horrible.
If they skip it, but you know why? Because Cat could just shade baseline right to the low man.
I don't trust him to do that.
You don't trust Cat to shade baseline?
I don't trust him. They're gonna blow by him.
Watch this guy.
No, but that's fine because again, if they blow by Cat, they're running into your good low man.
But that means you need Mitchell Robinson there, and now he has to be there.
Correct.
Okay, but I understood that point. I was just going to the point of saying Cat can't play weak side. I think he can. I think he can. He can get back to contest by the time a skip pass goes over, and I don't think they're gonna ISO him in the corner. And if they pull him out to ISO, you just bump switch.
I don't know if that's true because here's going to be the
a lot of teams do this. By the way, I want you like a lot of.
No, you're right. It's just a lot of work.
Wait, name the teams for me. I just want to hear. No, like just
the Timberwolves do this a lot.
Okay.
The Timberwolves do this a lot. They have Julius play low man and they'll put Rudy as weak side and play the corner. Like I said, the Celtics when they had Porzingis and Horford did it a lot. Any team that has a sturdy forward or 2 7-footers most of the time do this. The Thunder do this. Chet is not low man because they know better. Chet plays weak side and Hartenstein is low man.
Forward. That's the thing.
But this is kind of I understand, but like I'm making the point of like teams are decisive about who's the low man and who's the weak side because Chet's a 7-footer in his own right. That doesn't mean that he should be the low man.
No, I agree with you to that. So here's the
technically, isn't he taller than Hartenstein? Because Chet's a true 7 foot. No,
Hartenstein's 7'2".
Hartenstein's like 6'11", is he not?
No, Hartenstein's 7'2".
I don't think so.
7'2"?
I don't think so, bro.
I don't think so, but even then, like when you look at the games, like this man Chet is taller.
Chet is up there, bro.
Right.
Chet might be 7'1".
Yeah, KD is 6'9", right?
Hey,
exactly.
That's true.
Either way, these are the examples I'm pointing out where like you don't have to have like you can play with who's low man. Pause.
If Mitch wasn't as injury prone and we could give him and we didn't have to put him on a minutes restriction, I would actually agree with you.
I would go get somebody.
We got Huck 40 already.
And that's the problem. I don't want to go get somebody. I don't want because I like the team as presently constructed. I think we have enough to make it happen. The problem with your analysis, and it's not really a problem with your analysis. It's not a full consideration of the personnel because that would force OG to have to be the low man, and I also don't want that either. He's such a gifted perimeter defender.
I'm not mad about that actually. You know who'd be a great low man? You know who's a great low man? Hart. Low key would be a great low man.
6'3", brother.
Yeah, he's kind of small for that.
Yeah, but he's gonna take those charges.
He's 6. Yeah, but like after a while,
you're worried about him getting dunked on.
You got one.
He's gonna get there on time, so you're just worried that they're gonna.
That's also putting a lot in the refs' hands, and
a lot. And I don't trust the refs either.
Yeah.
I don't trust the refs.
I mean, the bigger they are is so you're basically just saying instead of hoping for a charge, you're hoping for a block, which still puts the pressure.
No,
on
I'm hoping for a contest.
That's it.
At the rim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like right before it at the block. Just be there. That's what
OG as low man is kind of tough. I'm not
that's
lie.
tough. But that's
it can work. But he's been getting injured.
Yes, he has.
It would put a lot of mileage on his body. To play low.
Honestly, he had a dunk the other night, and I got scared. I'm not gonna lie to you. The way he came down. The way he came down.
I feel like, but here's the thing. I feel like I'm just talking about a coverage option. Like I don't think this has to be your main full game coverage, but I feel like in high moments, like you should have a package for that. Like you should have
all right.
I mean, but that's the thing.
You can call it 2, or you can call it gold or whatever, but you should have a defensive coverage package.
Here's the thing.
It's cat the fuck out of there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to have it.
There are coverages. There are coverages we have where we do that, and they almost and this is why Paul and I are trying to tell you. Every time we try to do this, which is why we stopped doing it, cat gets scored on.
You see, all right,
in the corner?
Yes.
Wait, hold on.
How?
Wait, hold on.
He's not doing it. Like, he doesn't get out quick enough, and he doesn't step back quick enough.
Oh, so he's lazy to run back for the contest.
Yes.
He's slow.
That's why we're tight.
That's him.
That's why we're tight.
That's just him thing. If you don't rotate on time and he also doesn't retreat to contest the corner on a skip, that you're just lazy. You're just a lazy piece of shit. Like,
we're lazy. That's why we're mad.
Farrell, hold on. You see these clips of Mikal consistently like talking to a cat on the court after a missed coverage?
Consistently.
It happened like 5 times in one game. Mikal is getting so tight that he's like, yo, what do you do? Like, he's talking to him on the court in front of the cameras. You don't want to listen. He's playing decent defense right now. Don't mess it up. Don't compliment.
I'm not making a holistic
because you're not wrong.
I think in the playoffs, I think you're gonna need to be able to back that kind of coverage. I almost said back that package out. Back that coverage out.
Hey, man.
Hit the button.
Like the way the Miami Heat could just back out some zone when they need it. Like y'all, I feel like y'all need to be able to back out. Like Cat is not being relied upon in this defensive possession type of coverage. Like, you know what I mean? Like a high Cat package. You know what I'm saying?
But to counteract that, we have personnel that could do it. So we got to take him out. That's what Tibbs didn't do. You could literally just take him out, put in Okporty or put in a Yabusele and say, okay, this is.
But you know what's going to happen then? But then you're going to get in a tricky offensive defensive sub game if you're at the end of a game, because you're at the end of a game and it's close. What's the lineup you put out there? Let's say there's 40 seconds left and you're about to get on defense. What's the lineup you're going to put out there? And let's say you have one timeout left. If you take him out, you're coming down on offense the next possession without him,
which we could do because we got Jalen Brunson.
So you feel good with that? So you would just sit him with close, because you know what this reminds me of. This is the same issue that we often have with Austin. Do we leave Austin out there so that we have him to come down this next possession, or do we take him out knowing that because of our timeout situation, we're probably going to have to play the next offensive possession without him? If you have enough timeouts or there's going to be fouls and you could do the offensive defensive sub, you can do it fine. But when it's one of those scenarios where you're coming out of a timeout and you know you're about to play the stretch because it's close and no one's going to foul, you have to decide, like, do I put out my defensive lineup to make sure I get this stop and pray my stars can figure out a shot when they come down? Or do I pray my offensive guys can figure out how to get a stop and have more confidence?
You know what I say to that? That's the difference between having Jalen Brunson and Luka Doncic. Let's stop it.
Oh my God.
It's different.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Jalen Brunson. We gotta start talking about that.
I'll give you that. The way you did that, I like that. I like the way you did that. I disagree, but I like the way you did that. That was nice.
I could say that now. Nice. Yeah.
That was nice. All right. Transitioning to our rapid fire take segment. Fellas, I got a little surprise for you. You know I'm a student of the game, right? You know that I've been watching sports media my whole life, right? You know that I study producing live broadcasts for a living, right? I got 3 words for you. We're going to take it back. We're going to give them some shades of around the horn, okay? It's rapid fire. It's rapid fire, which means y'all really got a timer. Y'all gotta make your
going around the horn
with the right time, okay? It's on y'all. Y'all gotta make sure y'all hit it. Type. So who wants to go first? Our first topic.
Wait, is this for each or a whole topic?
Did the Spurs expose it for each
hold on,
topic?
clarify. We need some clarity, folks. Hold on.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna start the topic, and you each get a minute.
Oh, okay,
all right.
I'm with it.
Oh, look at this guy. Look at this comment.
For our first topic, we have: did the Spurs expose a weakness in the Thunder? Who would like to go first?
I will go first.
All right, Dre.
So
get it going. What do you think?
So the Spurs did expose a quasi weakness, and the quasi weakness is the team has not reacclimated themselves to Jalen Williams being on the floor, and Jalen Williams himself has not reacclimated himself to being on the floor. He shot 5 for 16. He looked very uncomfortable, and the Spurs who also had an injured player. They have learned to maintain that cohesiveness, and almost their play style is almost like Wemby plus, right? Like we gonna do our own thing, and then Wemby's gonna just come in and do what he does, right? Whereas the Thunder have a very cohesive play style, where they are moving and grooving, but over the last few months, they've actually learned how to almost play without Jalen Williams. Now trying to fit him back in has been something that they've struggled with this week. They've lost this week more than they have the entire rest of the season. So I think the problem is they need to learn. The weakness right now is learning how to replay or play again with Jalen Williams.
Hold on.
Buzzer beater.
All right, that's it for you, my brother. Well done. Good job. Who's next? Who next? Paul, you up?
I'm gonna take less than a minute.
Did the
stay?
Yeah, like
let's see it. Let's see it. Did the Spurs expose a weakness in the Thunder?
I like how this looks with the background. This is fire.
Say yourself, man.
But no. Honestly, I can't say that the Spurs exposed a weakness in a team that has 2 losses. I got
3 losses. 3 losses. That was
my fault. 3 losses. I got to see it again. That's all I gotta say. Like what? Like sometimes it's just a bad night. You understand? They were bound to lose at some point. Wemby is like that. Wemby was motivated, and they lost. Like when you go up against another superstar, that can happen in a game. I can't say they got exposed. You know what I mean? Adjustments will be made as well by Dagno. So. They got 3 losses. Christmas is coming up. Like I can't say they got exposed in any way. That's all.
So it's got 2 seconds left.
Don't care. All right, fair enough.
Just gonna smile at the camera. Yeah. Let his time go out.
On the clock.
What I said.
Yeah, I mean,
hold on.
Did the Spurs expose a weakness in the Thunder?
I also not going to discord. I'm not going to need a whole minute because I pretty much agree with Paul. Like, if anything's a weakness, it's Wemby. But if you want to consider that a weakness, they threw the kitchen sink at him. They were fouling him. They were trying to do everything they can to stop him. But he was just on it that night. Like Paul said, he was motivated to win. He got a little rivalry with Chet, and I guess that put him a little like over the top. But he was just really aggressive that night. They couldn't stop him. He was shooting over their defense. He was driving it. They couldn't stop him. They tried to foul him. Sometimes he got the call. Sometimes he didn't. Either way, he was just getting buckets. So I don't think they discovered a weakness. I think they're still the best defensive team and the best offensive team in the league. So not yet.
All right. There you have it. The fellas, nobody blew time. All right, so good. Now let's see if y'all have the same amount of self-control on this next topic. Because I'm cool. I'm the host. I gotta produce all this and keep it running.
All right.
This next topic, I don't know if you guys will be able to be so curt and concrete about, because I know several of you have a lot of feelings about what is going on in the Bay. What is wrong with the Warriors? Okay, y'all give me y'all takes on what the heck is going on in San Francisco. I don't understand it, but that's not for me to decide. Who's ready? Who wants to jump in first?
I'll jump
in. Let's get it. What's wrong with the Warriors?
There's a lot of distractions. going on in the Bay right now. All right, and these are untimely distractions going around a certain superstar's significant other. I'm seeing a lot of chatter online that I should not be seeing about comments a certain significant other is making.
This is what you're taking.
Oh!
I like your man is trying to go for 5, man.
I'm so
I don't want to
confused.
hear any of this. I don't want to hear any of this. And if I'm seeing it, he's seeing it. If I'm seeing it, he's
I must have missed something.
because listen.
I didn't do your research.
Hey, there's a lot of things that are going on. There are a lot of things going on that shouldn't be going on. That being said, now's not the time because there are a lot of other teams that are really good in the West. All right, you got the Thunder, as we just talked about. You got the Spurs coming up. Okay, you got Denver. There are too many distractions going on right now for them to focus on basketball.
Yo, Phil, who put that up there?
You're done. Thank God. Oh my God. Oh my goodness, great. Oh, what's wrong with the Warriors?
Well, I'm not gonna go there because Curry's not the issue, and that's all I'm gonna say. All
right, but you see now you're name dropping.
They're what? No,
hey, don't cut him off. It's his time.
Thank you. Listen, they're old. They're whack and they're old, and they made no adjustments. They made no adjustments from the previous year. They're trying to run it back. They didn't fix any issues. Steve Kerr has been overrated. Jonathan Kuminga should sue Steve Kerr for defamation of character.
Thank you.
For defamation of character. And that is why, listen, and they are lucky that Curry now, because of the ads that he's in, running this whole loyalty thing, they know he's not going anywhere. And they're lucky. But they need to start over. We need to finally see Draymond Green on another team. Yeah, I said it.
Ooh, at the buzzer with the scorching hot take. Now you gotta follow that up. Tell me what is wrong with the Warriors.
Man, sometimes it's simple as the dynasty is just over. It's ran its course. There's nothing left to do. Like there's the team, just like Paul said, it's a bunch of old dudes on the team. You got Jimmy Butler, you got Draymond Green, you got Steph. Steph is still amazing, but Jimmy Butler is not what he once was, and Draymond Green
31 though
is definitely. But can he do that all the time? Can he be the superstar they need all the time? Draymond Green, and he took my time too, by the way. Draymond Green is just not that guy. Like the team, there's no way to improve the team because they don't have really draft picks like that. They're in the apron. It's just sometimes it is what it is. A spade is a spade. They had a great run. They're like the dynasty of this era, but like it is what it is. These are the golden years of Curry's career, and we kind of just let it have to be that. Be competitive, make the playoffs. If something happens, but it's over, man.
It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
It's over.
There it is. Okay, with our next topic. This one I think the audience is going to have a lot of fun with. I say there are several people, in recent NBA history that seem to always be at what I like to call the scene of the crime.
Oh, man.
I want us to really figure out whether this guy causes more harm than he does good. I don't want us to have a narrative conversation. I want y'all to really actually evaluate it. But he's having one of those weeks, and it seems like the last 4 seasons in a row, he seems to have these weeks where he's just hitting people and causing losses and doing silly things. And I think the audience knows exactly who I'm talking about. Y'all let me know. Does Dillon Brooks cause more harm than good? Alan, I'm going to stick with you. Does Dillon Brooks cause more harm than good?
Listen, man. Dillon Brooks is a net positive. Everywhere he goes,
positive?
Yeah, let's get it.
It's a net positive. I'm tired of the narratives. I'm tired of the China jokes. I've seen enough. This guy makes the team better where he goes, bro. Look at Memphis now that he's not there anymore. Quiet. I'm not saying they were good last year, but he really contributes to like winning on teams. Even this year, he's killing it. He's averaging 21 points right now, close to 22 on 44%. He's making his threes. He's pretty good. I get it. He has his persona. People not gonna like him, but he plays into that, and I think that's more of like a business move than anything because that's his claim to fame. You know what I mean? So I don't take it personally. If he was like a player that I was up against all the time, I'd hate him too. If you're LeBron, you're gonna hate him. I'm sure Lakers fans do not like that man, but it is what it is. He's good. He's a net positive for the team. He's under your skin. What it is.
I'm gonna skip Paul. I'm gonna let Paul finish because I know how Paul feels, but we need some balance. Dre, hold it down. Dylan Brooks, does he cause more harm than
You
good?
can give your opinion.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. This boy, and I say boy because that's what he plays like. He plays immature. Okay, he's immature. That whole immature. He's a poor man's Draymond Green without the chips. And it's you know what it is. It's I love y'all, but it's the analysts like Paul and then Paul and Allen that allow him to act up this way. Okay, you know what he thinks? He thinks because I can go out and make a couple threes, it's gonna okay everything, and he thinks he's gonna be motivating. But the thing is, he's not. He's not. We just saw him. He wants to be tough. He sold his own final shot, man. I've never seen anything like that, bro. I've never how you win the game and lose the game at the same time. What are we talking about?
That was crazy. You're right.
Like, come on, man. I'm tired of it. He's a bum. I'm tired. Don't let him get a superstar persona. He's a bum.
Bring me up.
Let me hear this.
Bring me up.
Let me hear this.
Go ahead.
Dylan Brooks, I got you, man.
Good.
Hold on. The Grizzlies, right? We attribute the Grizzlies' success to John Morant at that time and Taylor Jenkins.
Yes.
The defensive identity that they had.
I attribute it to
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah, but keep going. It's your time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of people attribute that to Jaren Jackson. Well, whatever. Dylan Brooks was the reason for that. What were the Rockets before Dylan Brooks went there?
Nice.
What were they once he got there? Exactly.
Okay.
Now, the Suns are not as bad as people thought they were. They are better than they were last year when they had KD and Bradley Beal. This man is better than Draymond Green. He hits threes. He gets to the rim. He's a troll. We get it, right? But low-key, most of his trolling is with LeBron James. It's not really with anybody else. So that's why the narrative
not true.
exists. Because, all right.
I'm gonna go on this one. I'm gonna go on this one. I'm gonna address everything that was just said. Okay, first of all, the idea that he only trolls LeBron is not true. That's the only time media coverage picks it up. But if you were paying attention to the NBA internet streets last night, you'll see that he contested a Steph Curry 3 2 nights ago and just decided to smack him in his shit after he released the ball. And everyone on the court was like, why did you do that? He does things that are unconscionable because he tries to play the mental game. But here's the problem. The possible threat of the end of the mental game he plays is not equal in value to the actual production you bring on court. Yes, he provides production. He provides value. He's giving you 20 points. He's giving you some defense. But what he does, that's the problem, is he plays the mental game as if he's the best player on the team. You cannot play the mental game with the best player on the team because when you gas him up, you're not going to match what you possibly stoke a fire of. If you gas up Steph Curry, if you gas up LeBron, if you gas up Donovan Mitchell, and they give us 50, you're not about to match them with 50. So that's the problem. And then also you're going to put the refs in a quandary of having to manage the game down the whistle gets tight because you push somebody, and then we get called for a BS foul at the end of the game. Whose fault is that? Am I wrong? I lie?
You didn't lie, but the problem is it's up to the stars of the team to actually produce as well. Like, let's not act like he's not defending too. Like, let's not act like it always results in.
I just think it causes a bad scenario of the game. If you get the refs on edge, particularly around star players, the refs are now policing star players. Every time he does this with LeBron knows I'm now going to get every call I want because all I have to do is get upset, act like he's mucking the game up, and now everything I do, I'm gonna get the call, and that's what ends up happening in that game.
He's really in his head. He's not acting. That's the point. He's really in his head.
No, he's not. You what? If you're no, I've watched LeBron does it. LeBron knows that if I react a certain way, the refs are then now going to call the game a certain way. So he really could be not pressed, but if he knows that if I make the refs feel like I'm pressed because of who I am, and this is what Dylan Brooks is saying. Dylan Brooks doesn't like that LeBron does that. Dylan Brooks is like, yo, whatever I did to you, what I'm doing to you is not actually enough for you to act like that, but you know that you acting like that is going to make the refs react. And that's what happened. The refs react, the whistle gets played, and now Devin Booker gets a brush foul on a game-winning 3, and LeBron gets to go win the game at the free throw line. Where, like, in reality, in a regular game, that wouldn't be called. But Dylan wants to be allowed to just play the way he plays and for it not to go further than that. But you keep doing it with star players who know how to manipulate the officiating. If he did that with the equivalent of his matchup, like if him and Draymond Green would get into it at a game, I think it'd be cool because that's not going to affect the refs. The refs are going to hit them with a T each and be like, chill out or we're throwing you out. But the whistle's going to stay the same. But he wants to smack Steph Curry. But he wants to smack Steph Curry in the chest. That's going to change things. If you go and smack Steph Curry in the chest, things are going to change in how this game gets called now.
Very differently. Very different.
Yeah,
and I just want to
that's my only beef with him.
And I just want to touch back on what Pharaoh said before. If you go and talk shit to Draymond Green, he's going to go off and give you a nice 10-point game. If you go off and talk shit to Steph Curry, he's going to drop 65 on your head, on your grandmother, on your ops, on your man.
That's why every star player eventually ends up hating Dylan Brooks because you're not about to deal with this. Like you're over there gassing that man up, and I have to deal with this every time he scores. We're not coming down saying, "Oh, Dylan has to score." We're coming down saying, "I have to score."
You see what
making my job harder.
That's the Grizzlies' problem, though. You see what they've been since he left. He is the guy that sets the defensive culture. Like, why are you mad at him? You should be, as the offensive players, you should be saying, okay, I got to go hard on him because my guy is out here trying to get into the star player's head and he's scoring on the other end as a role player. Nah, I got to do more. But they hated Dylan Brooks for that. I didn't appreciate him. That's the problem.
But go ahead, Alan. Go ahead.
It's also about doing strategically, too. What?
What are we talking about?
It's also about strategically
what does
doing
that mean?
If he starts to get off on Steph Curry doing all his antics and gets Steph Curry going hot the whole game, that's one thing. But he's not doing this. And Steph Curry is not dropping 60 on his head every time. You know what I mean? I feel like he does it a little bit more strategically.
In playoffs, that's always how it goes, though. He gasses up the other team's opposing star. Their star goes crazy. And he doesn't meet that energy because he's not the star on your team. And I think in Phoenix, because he's probably the second best player, this is the first time that people feel like it's somewhat justified because he is going to have some impact. But he's been the third best player, if not fourth, on every other team before this. And you can't be that on the totem pole barking at the star of the other team because you're not involved in this battle like this. Like, ability on the other end, you have to hit a knockdown corner 3. But you gassing up this guy while I have to score 30 tonight, that would get me tight. Leave him alone. Leave that guy alone. You don't have to deal with it.
Draymond's the third best player, and he did it. It's not always the best player. Oftentimes the agitator is not the best player. What you see when you see two good players, great players going at it, is because they got a beef. That's different. Dylan Brooks, he has a role to play.
Yeah, I never see really Draymond. Draymond isn't an agitator, though. I would call Draymond an enforcer. I would say that's the two differences. No, this is actually a really good conversation real quick before we do the debate of the week. There is a difference between agitator and enforcer. Draymond don't really start a lot. He just finish everything.
Nah, don't do. Oh my!
Right.
He's
right. He's right.
Oh, you really said that on YouTube?
He's right. He's right though. Draymond.
What does he start? What does he start? Name a situation where he started the issue.
Draymond.
Name it.
Draymond looks for an excuse.
Name it. No, but okay, but even if you say
it's strategic, the excuse. That's
wait, exactly. Even if it's strategic, it's the fact that the excuse gets given. Something happens, and then he's allowed to respond to it. No.
Hold on. There's no reason for him to step on Sabonis' chest.
I didn't justify his actions. I just said he don't start the interaction. He always just ends the interaction. He ends the thing.
Interaction, okay.
Yeah.
But wait, hold
on.
So
in that game you're describing, him and Sabonis had a thing the whole game.
What happened with Rudy though?
Not Vanderbilt. Who's the forward on the Timberwolves?
On the Timberwolves?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, it's not Vanderbilt. It used to be Vanderbilt.
It used to be Vanderbilt. Who is it?
We got Jaden McDaniels.
Jaden McDaniels, thank you. Yeah, Jaden McDaniels and Klay Thompson. Jaden McDaniels and Klay Thompson got into a scrap, right? Like apart from everybody else, they got into a scrap. Rudy Gobert got into the scrap to push away Klay Thompson. The minute he stepped into it, Draymond ran from the other 3-point line and chokehold him. And this is my point. He just ends the things. He's the enforcer. Whenever there's a thing happening, Draymond, for the point when Dylan smacked the shit out of Steph Curry's chest the other night, everyone was looking around like, because they didn't see it. They're like, what's crazy? Steph stood up and yelled out what he did. It was like, yo, he just immediately Draymond came over and did the chest hold. You know the chest hold that they all do? when they're like, hey, what's Mark? Hey, you gotta calm down.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing here? Draymond immediately walked up to and said, hold on. Are you good, brother? Are you okay? Are you Irie? Are you like so I think it's a subtle difference of an agitator versus enforcer. Patrick Beverley was an agitator, right? Ron Artest was an enforcer.
I think Draymond starts more than you realize.
I don't know if that's
because I think a lot of players.
Not really.
Remember what Nurkic said? Remember what Nurkic said? This brother needs some help or something like that. You remember what he said?
I think Draymond talks like if a conversation starts, he's gonna definitely speak up. But I'm not talking about talking. Because that's the thing with Dylan. If Dylan was just a talker, I think I love him as a player. But he plays the physical trick game in basketball, and I hate those kind of players. Like you're gonna try to get like I'm all for getting away with what you can get away with. I believe in that. Like I'm a small guard, I'm feisty, I'm all that, whatever. But do it for your advantage. Don't do it to see how much you can annoy me or physically like impact me without getting called for it. Like, if you want to pinch me under the ribs to get a rebound once or twice, cool. But don't randomly push me during an offensive possession just to see if I get upset. You know what I'm saying? Like, the random pushes, like the Steph thing. You closed out. Why did you just smack me in my chest? Like, what are you're trying to get away with stuff to create, like, this sort of physical imposing advantage, and I'm not with that, bro. I'm not with none of that, bro. Because, you're going to mess this game up. Because eventually you're going to get caught, or I'm going to react. Now the refs are on high alert. Now neither of us can play the play we like to play because it's a tight whistle. You just messed the whole game up. I don't like stuff like that.
That's fair, but I still think that that's part of him setting the culture, believe it or not. I do think that's part of him setting the culture.
It's not. You know what the thing is? You heard Kobe say, I'm going to run through his chest. And you said or he heard that. And you're like, that's what you got to do. Here's the difference. It's not your best player doing it. And this goes back to what we were talking about before. If it's the guy that's gonna set the tone and he's gonna lead the team and he's gonna be doing everything, but Dylan Brooks isn't doing everything. He's a third or fourth best player.
He's nice. I'm tired of this. He's nice.
Fine. He's nice.
Can I get to the other part of what you said, Jay?
Has he? I'm sorry?
I want to highlight real thing and then keep going. Running through someone's chest to get through a screen, that's a basketball play.
Yes.
The way Dylan Brooks does it is
he don't be
doing it in basketball plays. It's nasty stuff.
It's always extra. It's always extra. And like Pharaoh said, it gets the tight whistle, and now the game's different. Everything's again officiating. And on top of that, now I'm tight. What are you going to do about it? It's not even going to produce good tape. It's not even going to produce good basketball afterwards, right? Because it's just going to be me giving you buckets, and you're going to be sitting there with your mouth open, doe-eyed, thinking, what's going on? You can't do nothing.
He can do something.
What is he going to do? It's
not equal in value. It's not equal in value. It's not.
Listen, sometimes you get
20,
players.
And you're going off about 21 points. in a no defense.
Can you
era,
tell me a time it worked?
about.
Can you tell me a time the Dylan Brooks style of playing this game worked?
I think. Listen, all you got to do is look at the
and
record.
Did it ultimately end with him getting ejected?
Look at the records.
Look at the records.
I look at playoff records.
West,
I get it. The reason why he gets contracts and why he gets traded for is because he is going to give you a plus minus in your regular season. All that I acknowledge, right? But you know me, I don't care about the regular season when I'm talking about a player at a certain level, unless you're 19 years old.
I'm not talking about role players.
If you are a mid-year to aged veteran, it's about what is your playoff impact, right? Unless you just want to get contracts and get paid. Because then teams will shop you around the rest of the league for the rest of your life, which is what's happening to him, so that we can have a
no.
Hold on, let me finish though. Let me finish because maybe it's not happening right now, but this is what I'm saying. The blueprint. You could be a regular season addition where we put you on the team to sell some tickets. You're gonna win 50 games, but everyone in the league knows that if you're on the team, that team in the playoffs is going nowhere. You're a non-playoff impact player. Patrick Beverley did it. We just watched it. Patrick Beverley did it. He got added to team after team after team. And you could say, oh, a lot of these teams had really good playoffs, right? Patrick Beverley, he had that mantra, I've never missed the playoffs in my career. Cool, that's great. What did you do when you got there? Nothing, which is why that team eventually moved you again. And so that's what I'm saying with Dylan Brooks. Like, sure, he helps teams in the regular season. He establishes a decent culture. They win some games, 45 to 50 games. They get a good record to make in the playoffs. But ultimately in the playoffs, he plays that game and he loses. It's happened to the Warriors twice.
Mm-hmm. I'm not putting it, but usually when you look at the star player of the team that he's on, what do they do in the playoffs? That's the real concern. All I'm saying is the Suns are 15-12 right now.
Do you want him on the Knicks? Let me ask you that. Would you take him on the Knicks?
Not now. We don't need anybody. I don't want anybody.
Before Houston, was it Houston? Was it Memphis to Houston? No, right? There was something else. Right?
No, it was Memphis to Houston.
Yes,
are we sure about that?
Yeah, he hasn't been on that many teams. You think he will?
I feel like there was a team in between that.
No, it was Memphis, Houston.
He wasn't on the Magic.
It wasn't on the
Magic.
Magic.
I didn't say Magic. I just feel like there was a team.
Desmond Bane's on the Magic.
No,
Alan,
because he signed with someone in free agency, right? Because the Memphis just didn't re-sign him, right?
You wouldn't want him on the Nets, right?
It's not that
it was
we don't need him. What is he going to do for the Nets?
You need a lot. Of all the things that team needs, you want to take him?
No. Why would we want him? We are rebuilding. Why would we want him on the Nets? I just told you he adds.
Right, he's not adding anything.
Correct.
No, that's not what
he's going to add. He's going to add wins. That's what
he will add wins, but I mean, it's going to be wins for naught, which is the worst thing that the Nets want right now. Again, wins for naught. You only do that when you have a superstar who you have to bamboozle into thinking you're trying to win so that you can keep him, i.e. Devin Booker.
OD.
They got Devin Booker to sign that extension. I cannot believe it.
I couldn't.
Don't worry, Devin. We are trying to win. See, we got you, Dylan Brooks. Look at his defensive rating.
They got a winning record. They got a winning record.
And they're gonna have a first round exit.
All right.
Let's see. Let's
see.
You feel me? Like
who are they playing right now?
Let's get to
Devin Booker's got to get
debate of the week segment because I'm really excited for this one. I got another video for y'all real quick. Do I? I thought I did. Damn.
I want to see what Pharaoh's dad has to say to this comment right here.
What's the comment?
It should be great under Bad Boy Pistons.
Because they were all on his timing. He will be great alongside Dennis Rodman. It's hilarious.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like, I just don't think he's that good at it. Like, I understand the lineage he's in, but y'all don't think he's like the worst ever at this. Like, he's the one that gets ejected more than not. Like, how often does he actually gas up a player into taking himself the game? Like, he's the one that gets tossed.
I think he's better than you all think he is, like as a basketball player, and therefore the impact that you all are saying he doesn't have, I think he actually impacts the game more than that.
All right, we're ready. So I'm gonna play a clip for y'all and for the audience. Y'all let me know what you think about it, and then let's discuss for our last segment.
Volley.
in the world of basketball ideology in the NBA. And the Heat are spearheading currently that I hope wins. A lot of people watch what the Heat are doing right now, and they say, oh, it's just copycat league with the Pacers, and not really. What the Heat do is very different. If it's a copycat of anything, it's what the Grizzlies did last year without Ja Morant on the floor. And I'll call it low-use move by Tyler Hero was absolutely disgusting and won. But the Heat's pace and space style of play is not about running a bunch of action, the ball popping around. It's about, one, first and foremost, running action as often as they can. And two, about allowing the space for a guy to go at his matchup and good decision-making to kick out whenever there's any semblance of space for a shooter, like Norman Powell, who's been killing this year. Or just taking your man to the hole because there's so much space for guys to drive. Davion Mitchell just blows by his defender. Who this war is against is, not Luka and the Lakers specifically, but the world of high pick and roll, high usage basketball, where one guy has the ball in his hands for 90% of every possession. When this type of basketball is done well, it's still very fun to watch. A pick and roll maestro, a good roll man, and some shooters in the corner. Yeah, it's okay. When you play this type of basketball, you can watch an entire quarter and really only see two guys touch the ball. Also, you're not making the entire team guard when you play this way. Two guys are guarding, three guys are standing in help for an entire possession. For a long time, it seemed like everyone to have one high usage guy on the floor at all times that touch the ball. You have an alpha for sure, maybe a few alphas, but no one is high usage. Jaime Jaquez Jr. is one of my favorite players to watch in the NBA. If he was on the Lakers, I don't know if he'd be getting minutes because he would not excel standing in the corner and shooting threes. But my favorite thing about this pace and space system is that it works really well without needing a top 20 NBA player on your team. This roster, coached by any other coach, running any other system, is probably a play-in team at best. And I mean that as a compliment. Spo is getting the most out of his guys because everyone gets touches. Everyone gets to be involved on offense. Everyone is confident. Tyler Hero is the best offensive player on his team, but on any given night, it can be anyone's night, and that is awesome. So why should you be on this side of the war? Well, when more teams play like this, more teams can have success without having premier superstar talent on their roster. And that gives us more competitive teams, less tanking, and more players to watch play well. And that, my friends, is in everyone's best interest.
Gents, what do we think? I think just to contextualize this, so the two teams he used as examples of these styles are Miami and the Lakers. I'd just like to point out, obviously he is advocating for the Miami as an example style. The Miami Heat are 15-13, and he used the Lakers as an example of that style. The Lakers are 19-7. So I just wanted to add that context of winning to this debate. That is not me saying what side of the debate I'm on. I will say that later. But I just wanted to add that context. But he also framed it in terms of different interests, though, right? Like he said why we should all root for this. He framed it in terms of league balance and sort of free agency, no more tanking. He viewed it. He framed it from a viewership perspective of why we should all root for that style of play versus the other. So I just wanted to throw all those elements out there for y'all to chew on, take it whatever direction you want to go. Where do we land on this? First, I want to see where everyone like you can give your reasons after, but I even take it a step more in abstraction. Before I even ask you which side of the war you're on, let me ask, do you all agree that this is a war that occurs and that these are the only two sides?
So I don't agree that these are the only two sides because there's a clear hybrid that a lot of teams play, particularly the Knicks play with this kind of hybrid. All right. They have a high usage or mid to high usage point guard or playmaker in Jalen Brunson, but a lot of what he does is dictated by space because you can space the floor so much. So at any given moment, the space is wide, the floor is wide open. He'll get to his midi, he'll get to a floater, or he'll kick around, the ball pops out to OG, ball pops out to McHale for him to either take a three or step in for a mid-range. ball pops out to Cat for him to take a three. And guys can't rotate to that. So there's clearly a hybrid level of basketball that's being played. And I don't know if it's necessarily a war, and it's a war that the league will ever entertain. And I'll tell you why. It's not good for branding. It's not good for the package that they want to put out there, which appeals heavily to casuals. What he's talking about is something that the four of us would actually probably like a lot, actually, just to see high-level basketball, low usage. Everybody gets touches. You get a more dynamic game. Everybody's moving and grooving. I get it. But players
don't put that on me, though, because in terms of pro basketball, I'll put – and by the way, this is our open format, obviously, for this segment.
Right.
I don't know that in a professional setting I necessarily prefer low usage. I feel like low usage basketball, college youth style of basketball.
I'm not saying –
obviously, I think overly high usage probably speaks to you having a not talented team or a Chuck on your team. But, like, if there's no one on this court that I feel like should have the ball in their hands a lot, then what am I watching?
Right.
Like,
and that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm not
that should have the ball a lot. Like,
and I'm not saying it's going to appeal to you in the sense like, oh, I kind of like this. But it's going to appeal to you from your intellectual side because there's something to break down. Casuals aren't doing that. Casuals aren't going to do that. Casuals want to say, oh, where's Braun? Where's Devin Booker? They're not going to say, look at Dylan Brooks making a three. Look at all that space, man. They don't know what that's like, man. And you know where you see that the most? You see that on 2K with these randoms that come up and think, I got to shoot 45 threes on my Zen. Yeah, all right. They're not trying to get this going, okay? They're not trying to get this going. They're not – and the NBA will never, ever endorse this kind of basketball. So if it is a war that's happening, it's going to get shut down real quick.
What do the rest of y'all think? Is this an accurate description of a war of styles in the NBA?
I honestly don't know if it's a war, only because I feel like the teams that do this, namely Miami Heat, I think they kind of do it out of necessity because they don't have that one guy they could just give the ball to and like just take over a whole lot. Like I know Tyler Hero is their best offensive player, but is he to that level of like obviously not like Luka Doncic, but is he someone that could do that? You know what I mean? So like I feel like it's more so out of necessities, but it's really based off of your personnel. Miami just works for them because they just have the personnel to do it.
It's the smartest way to play with what they have.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Perfectly said. It's the smartest way to play with what they have. And Spoelstra figured, and that's why Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the league because he figured it out. He's executing it greatly. In terms of like response to everything that he said about the fan, I'm with you, Pharaoh. Like I say this to people like all the time. When I'm talking about football mostly, but like I say this to people all the time. I'm the type of dude I like to witness greatness.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like,
yes,
I like to see a player go off on game. I like to see Luka Doncic get 70. I like to see.
I love it.
Yeah, exactly. I like to see and break a record. I love to see that. So like, the other side of the war kind of breeds that, and because those players are just good enough to do it. When you have a good enough player, you want to give him the ball. You want to give him a high usage rate. I want to see Jokic get all these triple doubles. I want to see all that. As a fan of the game and as a fan of the program specifically. I like what you said, Pharaoh, about how like this is like the type of thing you kind of want to see in like college and high school. Like, yeah, I agree with that. Like that's the type of thing I want to see the amateur rankings. But the NBA is full of great offensive players, right? And I want to see him like do that because in NBA, good offense usually beats out the best defense, and so that's what you do. In terms of just like the basketball side of it, like I don't like again, you do it out of necessity. That doesn't necessarily mean it's like this is the best. This is not the best system. You know what I mean? Miami just came off like a couple weeks ago a skid where they lost like 5 games in a row. This like they're not just killing shit out here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just playing really good. They have a good offensive system, but they're not killing shit. They're like. They don't have a great offensive team, and it shows. They're just maximizing their offensive output. Because when you do this, it's not easy to defend, but you can get a scheme for it. You can start playing the zone, and that messes things up. if you don't have a great shooting team,
that ruins that style of play often. Yeah,
exactly. So boom, right there. If you don't have a shooting, like you're kind of off there. Miami doesn't have the best 3-point shooting team. All their offense right now comes from this great drive because they're great at driving. But once you play the zone and you shrink that floor, like that's going to be a tough out in the playoff for them if they go up against the right team. So
I want to go back to something Dre said because I think he called it a hybrid. I don't know if I would go as far as to say a hybrid. I would just say that I think there is a version of the pace and space ISO style that does have a little bit higher usage. I do think that there is a war between pace and space ISO and high pick and roll. I just don't like that he's framing usage as on one side of those sides, because I think everything you just said, Alan. I think out of necessity, the low talent teams bring usage down because no one deserves to have that high usage on their roster, and so they're going to be more productive, like with everyone touching it, because you want to see whose night it's going to be. I think I can name several teams that play the pace and space ISO style, but have high usage, and all that means is that the possession is going to start with the same guy more than not. But they're still going to drive, stay space, kick, react, fill, all that stuff. But there's just going to be a person who's going to be initiating the drive more times than the rest of the team, right? If I think about the Thunder, what's the Thunder play style? Are they a high pick and roll team?
No, not really.
They're a pace and space ISO team.
Yes.
Do they have a high usage player?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they just won a championship, and they're 25-3. You see what I'm saying? So like I don't like that usage got put on one side, but I actually do like the framing, because if I look at the standings, I think for the most part, most teams do kind of fall into one of those two styles roughly, right? Like again, the top two seeds in the West, the Thunder are the pace and space ISO, Nuggets are high pick and roll. The Spurs, and the funny thing is, I actually think what's funny is a lot of these teams that are one way probably could really benefit from more of the other, right? So like the Spurs are pace and space ISO, and they probably really would benefit from running more high pick and roll. You know what I mean? Like the Lakers are literally exclusively high pick and roll, and we could really, really benefit from running some more pace and space offense. Now we don't have the best personnel to do it, but like we really should try. Like you know what I mean? Houston Rockets are definitely a high pick and roll team that should be pace and space more, without a doubt. But they run a lot of high pick and roll. Same thing, I think, with the Timberwolves. You got a lot of long athletes, a lot of guys that can drive and shoot, but you put the ball in the hands of your guy and set him a pick every time down the court, pretty much, right? And we don't love their offense. If I go to the East, to Dre's point, where's the East? To Dre's point, the Knicks are I think the Knicks actually have made this exact switch. Yeah. The usage of Jalen Brunson has not changed, but y'all have gone from a high pick and roll team to a pace and space ISO team, and that's why I said your offense looked better, and why I said your offense was stoppable, because honestly, I do ultimately think unless you have a perfectly balanced floor, high pick and roll offense can get stopped. I think in the playoffs, you need the ability to pace and space, transition, and you need the ability to shift the floor balance and isolate your best player and playoff help. But pick and rolls at the top in the playoffs are kind of easy to guard if a team is well practiced in rotations and knows the personnel. We're just gonna spot switch everything and play it perfectly, right? Unless you have a guy that's gonna manipulate like a Luka can sometimes. If Luka's gonna hit step back threes all night, you have no chance anyway, right? But if you catch a night where he's not gonna hit that, we can guard the high pick and roll, right? Like Luka went crazy against the Timberwolves in that Western Conference playoffs, but when he couldn't go crazy against the Celtics in the finals, the Mavericks offense fell apart. So that's why I think the Knicks made a great improvement switching to pace and space. I think the Pistons are undoubtedly a pace and space ISO team, and those are the two best teams in the conference. The Raptors, I think they're still trying to figure out what they play. The Celtics, same thing. Like, they're kind of pace and space ISO, but I think they use a lot of pick and roll to get certain matchups. So take your pick there. I don't know. So that's just kind of how I feel. I feel like my takeaway was like, don't make usage a thing because I want to see usage in the pros. But I do think that a lot of teams in the NBA do kind of fall along this divide. And I do think pace and space ISO is probably a better winning style deep into the playoffs than high pick and roll. But I'm not fully against high pick and roll.
Here's my thing, right? Basketball is about, like on the offensive end, is about either getting a mismatch or getting an open look, right? However your team could best do that is what you do, right? So least talented teams, right? Well, I'll say like this. In college, there's a lot of like heavy sets and plays, right? Because there's not as much talent, so they have to do things to try and get open looks to the best of their ability, right? In the NBA, everybody's talented, but at the same time, there's levels to the talent, of course. The Heat, they are not the most talented team. They're underratedly talented. We played them a good amount already. They played it twice, I think, the Knicks. They have a good, underrated amount of talent, but they're not the most talented, right? They could use some more in order to be a solidified top 5 type of team. It just makes sense, like Alan said, for them to play this way. Why? All they do is look for who has a mismatch and exploit. And once they exploit it, either they're going to get an open 3, like a step back 3, or they're going to blow by their defender, causing rotations, right? Meaning move the ball, somebody's open. If the person that gets the ball now sees the defenders running at them, they could shoot before they get their time or drive or whatever and just get the ball moving that way, right? Talented teams. Let's talk about the Knicks. Talented teams play in a similar way now. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them do like the Knicks. But at the end of the day, it comes down to your best player being your best player.
Right.
That's where the high usage aspect that you're talking about, Pharaoh, comes in. Guys like the guy in the video that you played seem to be very anti-ISO ball. And as a Knicks fan, we've seen...
Well, no, because he's advocating for pace and space ISO style. I think he just doesn't like when guys have the ball in their hands for the entire possession.
Right. That's what it is. They're anti-high usage ISO ball. That's what they are. And as a Knicks fan, I've seen many people complain about a guy like Carmelo having the ball and not passing the ball enough and all of that, right? But these same people celebrate when he's hitting game winners, when he's going on a personal 10-0 run, when he's saving the team. Right. And they don't understand that you can't have it both ways. That you have to have it both ways. You got to take the good with the bad, right? That's just what superstars do. And when you have a team like the Knicks and a guy like Jalen Brunson, we could do everybody's getting more opportunity to score the ball right now because we're pace and space right now, right? And because sometimes we put Mike Brown likes to put a cat at the nail and let him do his passing thing with all these fancy passes and all of that, right? He likes to do that as well, but a lot of it is pace and space, right? At the end of the day, when it comes down to, this is why I disagree with you saying the offense was very stoppable in the playoffs last year. When we have close games this year, we look very much like we did last year, the offense. Because that's what it should look like. That's what it should look like to an extent.
I think y'all run Jalen Brunson's pet actions to get a game winner still. But I think if you take clutch a little further back in the game, like I think in the last minute y'all do the same stuff because Jalen Brunson has his package that he likes to get clutch shots. That hasn't changed, right? Any coach is going to ask your star player, hey, how do you like to whatever. So yes, of course, that looks the same. But I think the way y'all play in a fourth quarter looks very different. It looks very different.
The last 3 to 4 minutes, because to start the fourth quarter usually is the benching anyway. So
you know what I mean? Let's say the last 6 minutes of a game. It's close. Every possession really matters. We have to come down and get buckets or like if we come down 3 straight times without scoring, the game could be over.
Last 5 minutes,
kind of like how last night. Remember that game we were in where I was like, yo, you were like, don't worry, it's just one shot. I was like, not in this game. Like, right in this game, us missing this one time, if we come down and miss again, that could be it. That could literally be it.
But I gotta disagree. The last 5 minutes is very much take your turn ISO ball, and that's not a bad thing, especially when the previous 43 minutes.
That's pace of space ISO.
Yeah, but it's like
I think last year instead of that, or find like let's use the game of the week we use, right? Yeah. The fact that the team identified Clarkson was hot and that Kolek was hot, right? And let the offense go through them until they cooled off, even though it was the fourth. People were talking like, yo, it's crazy that Mikel's not back in. It's crazy that Cat's not back in. And we could say coaching because I think it is style. I think style-wise with your old coach, he took those guys out, put your starters back in, and put Brunson and Cat in pick and rolls for the end of the game. Y'all, that's how y'all would have did it. Or
just straight ISO. And Jalen Brunson dribbling the ball the whole shot clock. And I'm saying
ISO is different than pace and space ISO. It's a very different thing.
I'm saying Jalen Brunson still dominates the ball and he should. And the reason the Heat's record, as you mentioned earlier, that it's the record is what it is because they don't have the talent to play that way. So I don't think it's more of who. You said what? The Heat. The Heat's record is what it is because they don't have the talent to play the high usage ISO ball.
No, I would say Spo has always been a pace and space style. I think again when he has a player who deserves usage, he uses them.
Right.
But they've always played that, which is what we agree on. I think usage is not a part of this. Like either way you choose to play, you can decide to have high usage or not and be good or not. Like
the guy in the video is talking about the usage though, so we got to talk about the usage.
That's the part I disagree with him on though. I don't think usage is on one side of this. You can play both styles with high usage.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
The Thunder do it. The Knicks do it.
Yeah.
The Pistons do it.
I just think he's trying to say high usage is not what we should want and root for.
I know. I think you and Alan all disagree with him. And I think Dre might disagree with him too, honestly.
I do. I disagree.
And it's not a war to me. Because
I think it is a war. I think the war is the style, though. I think there are teams that have high usage in each style. And I do think there is a battle where there are teams that think they're going to win by putting their high usage guy in pick and rolls. And there are teams that isolate their guy and try to have him attack his matchup and then play off the rotation. I actually said that way earlier when the Lakers played the Thunder, right? If we want to use like two winning teams that play these two styles, right? The biggest thing I kept saying with the Lakers was like, yo, we are not attacking mismatches at all. And Luke is not winning his matchup, so we're not causing any rotation. Right. And so we're just trying to screen to see if we can catch someone sleeping and get someone hot. And the Thunder, that's never going to happen. They're not going to go under Luka so you can hit a three. They're going to play in a good drop where you're not going to get your floater, but also you're not going to have the lob. You know, Hardenstein's going to be able to measure that perfectly, and we're going to stay home on shooters. And so, Luka, you're just going to get into the paint and crab dribble for 10 seconds and eventually try to foul bait. And that's what it turned into. And I kept saying, like, we need to do more isolation of players that have good matchups and attack them and then kick off rotation. So I think there is a war. Like, there is what we do and what the Rockets do and what the Nuggets do. The Nuggets are probably the best in the world at it right now. Like, it works the most for the Nuggets.
But the problem is...
But the Thunder and the Knicks and the Pistons of the world, I do think that style is a little better.
I can't call it a war because it depends on your roster. Like the Pacers last year ran heavy pick and roll.
That's what's interesting. I don't know though. I think you would call them a pace and space team too.
I don't because they get their pace and space off of a pick and roll most of the time.
I would
That's what I'm saying. There's a way.
I would really want to go watch film. I think the thing that was so interesting about like schematic wise about the finals last year is that everyone said it wasn't conflicting styles. It was actually two teams that kind of do very similar things going back and forth. And then that makes sense why I went 7 games.
So 7, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think those two teams are actually incredibly similar.
Yeah.
I just think that the difference is, which you may be thinking, is like Hallie with his usage was more of a facilitator, and Shy with his usage was much more of a scorer. But they still were the point people for two high usage pace and space ISO teams.
You know why I say they're pick and roll heavy? Because against the Knicks, they killed off the pick and roll. But then when they went to the Thunder, they changed it up.
I think that's because they identified a weakness in the Knicks defense, and they knew that Cat couldn't guard him.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't that the pick and roll was their style; it was that the matchup they were hunting for was Cat guarding a pick and roll.
I don't think it's a war. Like, you just got to do what you got to do in the court to win the game.
No, but I think there's a difference because I think there are teams that don't have none of one of the styles in their repertoire at all.
Oh, they're just whack.
Like Rick Carlisle, I give credit to the Pacers because he could shift in real time. Almost in the same way we call a great defensive team that could play man, play zone, play shade. Like the fact they can mix it up. Rick Carlisle's a great coach because he had that team playing mostly pace and space, but could identify, he can't guard. Pick and roll his ass, right? Like that's what made him great. I'm gonna do that too, right? Like if there's a smaller guard on the floor or a flat-footed wing, you best believe Shade's gonna call a pick to get that matchup, right? Like they can do both, but the majority of the time they are pace and space, which is what I say about the Lakers. I already know Luka's natural play style. We're gonna be mostly pick and roll. I just want us to throw in more pace and space, particularly when he's off the court. Like when he's not there, Austin and LeBron should be type shit.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
So I do think a war because I do think like there are coaches that don't recognize the value of both and truly think like with their star players, one of these ways is going to work more than the other. Like the Houston. I think that's also why you can point it this way. Ime Udoka versus Joe Mazzulla. What kind of style did Ime Udoka have the Celtics playing when they was making all those Eastern Conference Finals runs but didn't win? High pick and roll.
Yeah.
What did Mazzulla do? And then they won.
Yeah.
So I think if you really go through the years and track it by coaches, where they've been and success, and then who won the championship that year, I think there is a little bit of a tug and pull there. Pause.
Oh, fair enough. I think you might be right. You might have convinced me.
I still think it's based on the roster that you have.
I mean, the roster is a big part of it.
That's why I'm going off teams that like switch coaches because it's the same team.
That's where you convinced me at because
which one was more successful? I haven't seen.
When you brought up the Celtics, I think you're right now. When you brought up the Celtics, that made me think
right.
I mean,
I haven't seen a team that was pace and space. I haven't seen a team that was pace and space switch to high pick and roll and then win.
There's confusion about who Jason Tatum is in the Celtics organization. That's why I still think it's a roster thing because they don't know what Jason Tatum's biggest strengths are.
You can't speak to
I think Mazzulla and Udoka disagree on his biggest strengths.
That's right.
You know where I stand on that. You know where me and Dre stand on that.
Yes,
they disagree on his biggest strengths, which is the main reason why the style switch happened.
Right.
Which Mazzulla got affirmation in it because they won, but what did it do to Tatum's game?
That's a fact.
And that's what me and Dre have been saying for years. Me and Dre have been saying that for years. That Mazzulla, and he comes from college. He went to the pace and space, and to his credit, they won. But his star player, you kind of nerfed him. You kind of nerfed him because I don't think pace and space are his strengths.
I agree with you on that point specifically.
I'll say this too.
You feel me?
I'll say this too. If he didn't get injured, we could see it becoming his strength. He's acclimating to it. And that's his acclimation to it.
I don't like. You know why?
Actually won them the finals.
You know why I don't agree with you? Because I think, like, low key, like, and this isn't even low key. I think anyone that's paid attention to Tatum, like, after probably his sophomore year, he's not a guy. He really is 6'10" for real.
Yeah.
And like he has a nice handle, but he's not a guy that's gonna blow by a lot of people.
That's true.
So hit when he's in pace and space ISO, what is he gonna do most of the time?
Still up.
Step back and shoot the three. Because he can't, no matter how much space there is, he's not blowing by a ton of guys. But if you pick and roll, he can operate and then precisionally get himself to his spots and shoot. Or if you post him up, he can operate. But you just letting him free flow, he's not a guy that's going to get a quick first step and blow by a lot of guys. So most times he's trying to shift his guy to shoot.
But it does work for Jaylen Brown and Derek White.
It does, but I think Jaylen Brown could work in a high pick and roll too. That's the thing. They both can play well in one style, and only one of them can play well in the other. But the other one has won the chip, so now it is what it is.
I've been said Jaylen Brown should have left, but okay.
But he can play well high pick and roll though. He can play well high pick and roll though.
You said what?
Where he gonna go?
Figure it out.
But besides that, Jaylen Brown can play well in a high. Jaylen Brown can play well in a high pick and roll though.
He with the ball in his hands, but when he's watching Jason Tatum do it.
But here's the thing. That's the thing. You just play. You don't have the super high usage. Like let Tatum run some pick and roll, and let Brown run some pick and roll. Everyone would call it my turn, your turn basketball, but it was just because they weren't that good at it yet. They still didn't learn how to make reads. Pace and space is my turn, your turn too, but no one says it anymore.
That's a fact. Jaylen Brown.
no one says it anymore. I wonder why that is.
Brown off ball is not as effective as Jason Tatum.
He's a dud. He's a dud. Let's call a spade a spade. But in a high pick and roll system, you could put him in the dunker.
Now you putting him in a dunk.
I don't mind guards in my dunker. I love to be a guard in the dunker.
Some guards, yes. Some guards.
I love it.
Most guards, I don't think it works. I don't think that's the best thing for them. For
You're soft. You're soft and you're a finesse player. You don't want to get an and one.
Man,
you can't jump. I understand if you can't jump. Yeah. Don't put no Tyrese Halliburton. Well, nah, he could get up a little bit. Who's like a no jumping guard? Don't put Fred VanVleet in the dunker. Obviously, I understand that. But you're talking about Jaylen Brown 6'7" with bungee cords on his legs.
Amin Thompson can stay in the dunker.
Put him in the dunker.
That man be a guard. What is he, a power forward?
You can be a guard in the dunker.
I'm surprised you're saying that.
Yo, Russell Westbrook has ruined the dunker because you know why? I'm gonna tell you how Russell Westbrook ruined the dunker, and then we can get out of here with final points. Because the Thunder didn't use Russell Westbrook in the dunker in the prime of his career when it would have made sense, when coaches started doing it in his twilight, people saw it as a demotion. So they saw it as a demotion. So now people feel like when you put a guard in the dunker, you're disrespecting them.
No, but there's some guards that can
it's all Westbrook's fault. Putting your guard in the dunker is not a bad thing.
You need a stretch five to get away with that.
Yeah, or just the five is setting the pick.
Paul. I know.
No. The five is setting the pick. If the five sets the pick and the center steps out and you blow by, you're putting the guard in the dunker so that when low man steps over, you have a guard to dish it to.
I can think of at least one
big
guard
could turn around and block that.
Hell no, not if you're an athlete.
Maybe this is the last.
Athletic, you could defend that because the big is already there.
No, Paul. See, soon I'm gonna get an X and O board for us digitally. I'm gonna figure it out. What I'm saying is, all right. So look right here, right?
Yeah.
Pick and roll. If the guard comes off, if the big guarding the big steps up, and you beat that big is here still. Now we're saying instead of having another big being dunker, imagine if the person stepping up is a guard because your guard's in the dunker. First of all, that guard being a low man, if I'm coming up to pick, I'm probably taking it to his chest. And if I don't, I'm dishing it to a skilled athletic guard right here who can dunk it, shoot it, or make a good play. That big is up here still with the big.
That's a lot of congestion though, because the load man has somebody guarding him. You got the guard that got picked running down the lane, trying to guard somebody.
Big guarding big, guard. You come off. The big is up here. The guard got screened, so the guard is here. Your big is here. Yeah. The big defender is here, and you're here going in the paint. Those three players are up here in the action. it's now 2-on-1 with the low man. You're just figuring out who the low man is going to be. Is it going to be another big because you put your other big in the dunker? Or is it going to be a guard because you put the guard in the dunker? But you're creating a 2-on-1 advantage. Now, to your point, if you're playing two bigs, your other big has to be a spacer over here for sure.
Yeah.
But if you're playing one big, once you pick him out, it's clear.
I understand what you're saying. But you got to understand, like, when you have that level of, for lack of a better word, congestion, the rotations are easier. You have to admit that. Now, because they are smaller players now, we're talking about in the paint defending.
Well, yes, because that's what I advocated with the Knicks. Like, there is a give and take there. Like, having a skilled player in the low man sometimes is a problem. Because I could stunt. I love being low. I could stunt and make you bobble and still recover. So your point is correct. Right. I just think in terms of verticality, when you put an athlete there, I could just throw it up.
That's a fact. That's a fact as well. Now, there's going to be less threes in that, and the NBA. You know what the coaches.
Here's the thing, though. Here's how you get the three. Once I do it once or twice, what happens? Low man stays. What do I do? I slide my shooter behind the guard I put in the dunker, and now you can't come off. I'm gonna skip it right over. So I come off. Boom. If this guy steps up, they're gonna body touch Jaylen Brown in the dunker because they don't want the lob. I'm skipping it to the corner. Now we've solved your spacing problem, right? Running pick and roll. You're like, well, we can't use Jaylen Brown because he's not a great catch and shoot on a corner. Okay, put him in the dunker. Once we get one or two lobs, they're gonna touch him. I now have the spacing I needed. Now when I come down, they can't help off anybody. Either I'm scoring, Jaylen Brown scoring, or I'm gonna get that corner shooter.
But then is that maximizing Jaylen Brown's strengths though? You're kind of taking away all his nicest.
No, it's called balance and sacrifice because Jaylen Brown's gonna get to be on ball.
Always.
Again, we don't play permanent positions if we're playing high level NBA offense.
These are just certain plays.
It's a problem when Tatum's on ball. Jaylen Brown spacing when Tatum's on ball is an issue, not if you put him in the dunker. So for Tatum on ball sets, put Brown in the dunker, and then when it's Brown's time to be on ball, we don't have anything to worry about because everyone else can shoot.
I like that. Yeah. Then
you feel me? Like
yeah.
Jaylen Brown like that. I tell you that.
Jason Tatum be going off the most when he gets a lot of catch and shoot looks. So Jaylen Brown in downhill pick and roll actions with Tatum being the corner guy. Oh my, 50 easy 50 for Tatum. Don't let him get hot. Now he can take some step backs and we're good to go. We can go for days on this, but like, go ahead. Final points around the horn. Final points.
Here's my final point, and I don't think we need more than this. I can think of at least one guard in my personal circle that could benefit from this kind of play style. Just putting that out there.
What, pace and space ISO or high pick and roll?
With my guard going to the dunker.
I'd be in the dunker all the time.
I'm not talking about you.
Oh man, he started mess again.
I'm not starting any mess. I saw it twice last night. They were very effective.
Oh wow!
I saw it twice last night. It was very effective.
Oh wow! I mean, if you're not gonna shoot open threes, you might as well.
That's what I'm saying.
You might as well. But here's the thing: the style that we play. Also, go check our stream out on Twitch. Last night, Alan debuted on the stream. We had our starting five fast break family. With that five, we play in pace and space anyway, so we don't gotta worry about it. But to your point, if we do have to bust out a pick and roll set, that might have to be the move.
I'm just saying.
Because you're gonna pop off the pick, so you're gonna be my top spacing.
Yep.
I got Allen in one corner. Yep. I definitely want to put Ben in the other corner. Do I want Paul on the opposite wing, or do I want him in the dunker? I think I might want him in the dunker.
Depends on how he's feeling. If he feels like shooting, put him in the wing. If he doesn't, get to the dunker, my boy.
Get me the ball on time and on target. I'm shooting every time.
That's not true. Right,
you don't get it to me on time. You don't get it to me on time. You want me to J people.
Family.
This guy counted to 10, tied his shoes, and said a quick Hail Mary.
You take bail on the shoe.
I need Deadeye or Hall of Fame to make them.
No, you don't.
You get yes, yo, you know how many times I'm open.
End the stream. And
then you give it to me. The ball's floating in the air. I'm waiting. By the time I catch the ball, I see a man right in my face. You say shoot it.
I'm tired.
Yeah, shoot that, John.
Nah, you see.
Paul. When I
brother.
post these clips, bro, you can't lie like you didn't catch it wide open and evaluated your whole life before pulling.
Yeah,
You evaluated your whole life before you shot
night
it.
Specifically, I was confused about when I was gonna get the ball or not.
What are your
very confused?
Oh, that's fair. New squad. We were figuring out rhythm. Everyone was figuring out where they were gonna get the ball.
That only worked for the first 2 games. After that, we know what's going on.
I agree. 4 corners. We talking about 2K though, by the way. I don't know if you. I
was about to say you watching the Twitch.
If you watch the stream, that's lit. But in real life, I do understand what he means by that.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, 2K we definitely. I mean, we did go to 4 corners.
Yeah, we did,
and it was fire. That was the. Listen, in terms of being a high usage guard, I'll admit I'm a little bit of a high usage guard. In terms of being a high usage guard, in terms of space. That was some of the best space I ever had last night. I was going crazy. And I promised to move it more. I was just so unfamiliar with having this much space. I was like, no one's coming over to stop this.
Hey,
you're just gonna let me dunk it? Like
I want wins. Output could go out the window.
That's a fact.
Like they let me come down 4 times and just drive by 1-on-1 and dunk it. And I kept waiting for them to like rotate. And then I was like, oh, wait, no. Nass a shooter, and he's hit 2 already. They're not gonna come over. They're gonna let me dunk it every time.
Actually, not because last night I did get when I did sacrifice that we did win, so I could.
And that's it for us this week, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed another edition of Fast Breaks. Light it up.
Peace, follow the socials.
Like, follow, comment, subscribe.
And hit the Twitch.
Come on. It's Fastbreaks. Listen. Back with another one.
Fast breaks, yeah, we coming with the takes. Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights. Man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands. We run 3-man weeks, Paul, Dre, and Alan, yeah. Way more than a fan. We got love for the game. We don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm the run the fast break. Throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast break.